Okay, so this is new moon in Virgo. It's actually tomorrow. Well, it's actually the 23rd. It's actually like the wee hours of the morning. So um, that's when the actual new moon is, which is good. So on the new moons, as we know, we set intentions. This is a really good time for intentions. Um, it's also a black moon, so we'd had the question asked what was a black moon, and I thought it was just another name for a new moon. Nuh-uh. I found out very quickly that it is another major astrological aspect, and um, we'll get into some of that in a little bit, but there's like such huge major things happening all this year that it's not surprising that every, you know, new moon or full moon or change in sign or whatever is making such an impact on things. So, a black moon, there are two instances when they occur. One is when you have a new moon in the same sign. So we've got this new moon in Virgo. It's actually at 0 degrees, also very significant, which we'll get to in a sec. And then the next new moon is on September 21st, which is at 29 degrees Virgo. So that's one way you get a black moon, is two moons in the same sign. Or if you have every season, okay, so, you know, spring, summer, winter, fall, there are 3 months. But if you have 4 new moons in any of those 3-month periods. So black moons occur every 30 to 33 months. So they're rare, but they do happen. So this one, a black moon is actually very significant. And the significant part of this is that it is at 0 degrees. So 0 degrees, if you look at tarot, the 0 card is the Fool. And 0 is before 1. So if 1 represents beginnings of something, this is before the beginning. So this is even before something starts. So this is the cocoon stage. So you think of caterpillar, butterfly. The caterpillar would be at 29 or 30, and then it hits 0, gets into the cocoon, and then the butterfly is now 1. So it's the new stage coming. So the caterpillar is 0. So 0, what it is, it's potential. So this new moon, black moon, is all about potential. And another way that we can look at it is if you've ever meditated and gotten into the void, and I've done this a few times. So if you're not familiar what that means, is when you meditate, it's almost like everything goes black. And you might actually think that you fell asleep for a second or two, but when you're in that void space, you're in nothingness. So you're in a space of full potential. That's what the void is. And that's where I got motorcycles running down my street now. And that's where this 0 degree is very, very significant. Another thing that's really significant about this, so this year has been all about a lot of big changes. We've been talking about like the outer planets that keep changing signs and talking about generational shifts that go along with it and stuff like that. So Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, they're all at 0 degrees right now too. So again, brand new potential. And each of these planets and the things that they bring It's all new potential. Uranus, about, the planet of surprises, the potential there for the surprise is great. And surprises can be wonderful, but they can be scary too. They can be bad surprises. But there's a whole thing going on with Jupiter right now too. And we are actually, I think it started on the 11th of August and until the 19th of August next year. Jupiter is in this 0 to 3 degree cycle in, I think it's Aquarius. And Jupiter is a very benevolent planet, so we're going to see things really start to get better in a lot of different ways. So this new moon, black moon, setting some intentions, and also because we've got eclipse season coming, there's like so much. It's almost like I don't even know where to start. We've got all these factors that are actually working in our favor, that working with the energies, doing the intentions, doing the releases and stuff like that are probably way better and more impactful than we realize. I'm going to suggest that with the intentions that we set tonight, I'm going to try to remember to do this, but by the end of the year, I think we want to go back and we want to look and see how much of that has actually come to fruition. Because even in the first half of the year, we've probably seen some progress. I think for the second half of the year, we're going to see it snowball into much better progress. So first of all, let's talk about this new moon in Virgo. So Virgo, one of the reasons that this is a really good sign for this moon to be in, because Virgo is a sign of doing. Virgos are doers, and they're meticulous, and they're planners, and they're thinkers and organizers. So taking those characteristics that are heightened at this period of great potential and putting it all together, you can see how this could lead to something phenomenal down the road. So when we're looking at setting our intentions, actually I saw something here. It said, because this is at 0, when we do this, we don't want to be, we want to be specific, but we don't want to limit ourselves with that specificity. So it might be good to set more open-ended intentions, like you want to be, you want to be guided to your highest good, or to do things for your highest good, or something to that effect, or you want to generate abundance, but don't limit yourself to what type of abundance or how you're going to manifest that abundance. So keep it a little more open-ended so that all these energies can help build it and work with it. And maybe when we get to the next new moon, we can be a little more specific, because at that time we may have a little more clarity on where that's going to go. And that's another part of what's happening right now too, is the clarity that we're receiving during some of these energies. And even with these outer planets, making the changes that they're making, we're kind of halfway through that cycle. And one of the things that's pushing us to do is to slow down, as evidenced by me throwing out my back, somebody else throwing out their back, somebody else getting a kink in their neck, somebody else feeling tired, even though there's been generally a feeling of reset and refreshment and rejuvenation. So the other thing that we can use to our advantage is to take that slow down period to kind of think things through a little bit better. Another Virgo trait, being able to organize things, plan things, work through things, do your pros and cons list. Use the time to do that. Take that time to kind of sit back and do that. Another thing that's coming up is, so we've got eclipses coming up too. And eclipses are also very powerful because they reveal things that are hidden. So again, because we're coming up into that, and that's starting, I think, on September 7th, which is the next full moon. So use this time now, while we're in that place of potential, in that void, to sort of let yourself understand the direction you need to go. So we're going to take that time, stop, think, sit back, meditate on it, and know that, basically the world is our oyster. We have everything at our fingertips, but we want to know, and the Virgo energy will help us point in the direction that is best for us. Because it's all well and good to say, like, yeah, I'm going to become the next CEO of Rogers. Yeah, no, I'm not. I don't have that education, and I don't want to look for doing that education now. So maybe that's not meant for me. So my Virgo thinking would be like, yeah, it would be great to be the CEO of something, but that's not realistic. So what is realistic for me? That's where that Virgo energy comes in very handy, because you can actually kind of pinpoint it a little bit better, and we should pinpoint it, and that will help guide us to where we need to go. And I think we all generally have an idea of where our lives are headed and the things that we want to do, our purpose in life, and who we want to be and how we want to be. So use this time just to actually confirm that, verify that, listen to that intuition, and see where it is that you want to go. Pluto helps us out with this right now, where, I don't know if it's a he or a she, whatever. Pluto helps us out with this right now because Pluto, the other thing about Pluto right now, because it's in Aquarius, it can kind of throw us off a little bit and kind of like push us out of our comfort zone a little bit. But again, that's okay, because when we're in that field or in that energy of potential, maybe it's something we wouldn't have thought about before. So you see how all these things are working to help align us into our greater good and for the things that we need to be doing and where we are going. So I came across this little paragraph here, and I know this is very relevant, so I'm going to read it. And this is about Neptune and something to consider. I think we all kind of know this, but it's a really good reminder. So everything is energy. Dis-ease is simply energy that is not flowing. When we are in coherent resonance with everything, all vibration, all frequency, all flowing through us unimpeded. But we cling to some, like the things that we like, and we resist others, the things that we don't like. And when we do that, we create tension. Places where energy is stuck and unable to flow. The result is dis-ease. So I thought that was just a very good and timely reminder, especially again for those of us that have like back issues and other issues that, kind of keep creeping up and slapping us and reminding us that we can't do it all and that we need to stop and take that time to self-reflect and figure out what the heck we're doing and where we're going. Neptune also points to truth. What is working for us and what isn't working. Sometimes we don't want to believe that truth, but we need to see it, and we need to hear it, or we need to deal with it. And what that can bring out is anger. And I had a whole discussion about anger with someone the other day. You know who you are. And this is something that I myself have been dealing with for a very long time, and trying to figure out what to do with, how to deal with it, and how to work through it, because I'm not an angry person and I don't understand how to deal with anger. So Neptune is probably pushing me to deal with certain things, and is going to push you to deal with certain things too. So with all that, the actual signs that are most affected on this new moon are Cancer, Virgo, Capricorn, and Pisces. And it feels like I've been singled out every single month for months. I feel like Pisces has been singled out every single month for months. And I feel like Cancer has been singled out every single month for months. Everybody else has sort of like had bits and pieces here and there and turns here and there randomly. But I don't know. I'm feeling very illuminated, like the spotlight is on me, and it's like, stop, I don't want to be the center of attention. But that's how I'm feeling. So anyways, for each of the signs, so Aries, your adventurous spirit is trying to inject excitement into your daily routine. You're thriving on finding cool and interesting ways to handle mundane activities. Also, it's time to get creative with your workload and find inventive ways to make your views well known. Taurus, your talents are bursting at the seams right now. With the right direction, you can start an artistic project that will consume your attention. Don't second guess your talents. Use your innate gifts to make your visions a reality. Gemini, take control of your life. This means letting go of people and situations that aren't healthy for you. If you can find the strength to detach from toxic relationships, you'll begin to fly high and find your happiness. Cancer, your intuition is heightened, making you lean into your gut to decide on upcoming professional endeavors. Listen to the voice within and trust what your heart tells you. You'll be surprised by what the universe is revealing to you. Leo, your finances may be shaken up a bit right now. The lesson is to save resources and start a new financial plan to keep your situation intact. Virgo, relationships are evolving, making you more open-minded and able to think outside the box. You may want to make up your own rules. Every relationship is different, and you can create your own partnership. Libra, it's time to manifest. You have to be honest with what you want to bring in. Then you can achieve your goals. Scorpio, there may be some conflict in your friend group. However, if you stay out of the arguments your friends are having with each other, you will find peace. Sagittarius, many shifts are happening at work at the moment. The primary issue is that you're being pushed to transform your professional goals. Be open to all the new opportunities and possibilities coming your way. When one door closes, another opens. Capricorn, your need for independence is pulling you to cut ties. This means breaking out of the same old rut you've been in for the past few weeks. Start a project. Move onwards and upwards. Aquarius, your rebellious spirit wants to break free from people who are telling you what to do. Rather than follow orders, you will want to connect with people on a deeper level. Pisces, you are unsure how you want to proceed with your current romantic prospects. Consider matters before you end a relationship. You'll be surprised by the choice your heart makes. I find it interesting that each and every sign has something that basically says, look within, figure out what's working and what's not working, and move forward based on that. And that is actually what these energies here right now are all about. And when you write your intentions this time, again, try to keep them a little more open-ended. Can write them from today until the 25th. And actually the 25th starts another whole other cycle of stuff. So you want to do it before the 25th. So on the 25th, we get Venus enters Leo. And that is a time for really moving forward boldly and intentionally and loudly. So do your intentions before then, because if you wait until the 25th, you may be a little too extra. And we don't want too extra right now at this point. We want to kind of keep it a little toned down so that we can allow that cocoon stage to kind of finish brewing, so that when the butterfly comes out, the butterfly is perfectly formed and knows exactly which direction it wants to fly. So with that, I'm going to close this portion, and we'll take it from there.